fuck? No.
Welcome to Transition into Death. You feel your eyes begin to get heavy. You fall deeper and deeper into a trance. Your body becomes weightless as your heart beats slow down. Do not be afraid. You are at rest. You fall deeper and deeper. Your soul begins to separate from your body. You begin to feel the warmth of fire. This is the arrival to your final destination. Welcome to eternal damnation. You are now entering hell.
Sorry, I dig that intro so much. I fucking love it, man. It's badass. The werewolves. If you've heard our intro, they're fucking fantastic. You've seen them at Spooky. Their latest single, Possession, is out now, so make sure you check them out on Spotify.
And it's running up the charts, kids.
Yeah, it's just that's just a really great way to just write into us because that's just so fucking badass, man. Good evening, Sunday night. I guess it's Sunday night. Sunday. Yeah, we should just start off with a Sunday. But yeah, hi everyone. We are going to be talking about since it's the 20 years of Spooky. We're going to be talking about some of the craziest shit we've seen over the years, and of course, because complimentary, it's Black History Month, and I've watched a couple of horror movies, black horror movies that I want to talk about, and we'll get into that. First, beer. The first thing I want to do is I want to talk about Sanford Homebrew Shop. Oh my fucking God. We have a buddy of ours that runs it. Gary is fucking amazing. We stopped by, and this right here is called What's Eating Gilbert Grape. It's kind of, it's not a beer, it's not a wine, it's kind of a between the two, but it's like a sipping beer that has like just waves of flavor, which is fucking fantastic. So as I pour, hi Rob, what are you doing? What are you drinking?
Give you a proper description of it.
It's just, it's hard to, yeah. Rob, hi, what are you drinking? What are you doing while I get this?
Well,
it's a lot of head.
Because I have a mild headache, I am having a lime bubbly.
Oh, Michael Bublé.
Yes.
The Bublé, yes.
Bublé.
Pinky out.
Nothing, and it's a damn shame because while we were at the place picking up that beer and enjoying other beers, I actually picked up a bottle of mead, and I was gearing, up to have that, and I'm just like, I don't want to open it.
One open too.
It's just not. It's not good because it's a nice bottle. It's honey dew, but not the melon. It's honey dew, something else like I don't know, something from a leaf. It looks fantastic. It's basically the description on it is it's a German bottle, but the description was done by like a first year German student who was more or less doing everything with a English to German dictionary, and so tons got lost in the translation. So I'm not really sure what I'm drinking. There are very few reviews for it online. I look forward to it though whenever I crack it open.
Yeah, we're gonna hook up Pints and Pistons with these guys as well because obviously they're professional drinkers. Sanford Homebrew Shop. We know Sanford has become like a big hubbub lately, I guess is the best way to put it. It's a hot spot, and Sanford Ho Brew Shop, man, fucking fantastic. I mean, Rob, you had a couple of really cool, you had a couple of sours there.
I had I had a couple other sours. And
I can't do sours.
What was that?
They got everything.
Well, then you can't have any of these sours.
And hi to everyone in the chat.
Yeah,
Hi, Davey. Hi,
I'm not
Randy.
going to
Hi,
remember the
everybody.
names, but the most interesting one, it was like a kind of a cream ale they had, but it was kiwi strawberry milkshake. And it's apparently the guy made it for his son, and it went over so much better than anyone, because they never thought they would actually sell this and
kiwi
make more. It was
strawberry
supposed to be just a
milkshake.
one-time
It's
only
fucking
batch.
good though.
It was really good, and that was kind of the highlight beer of my trip out there. Also, right down the street, we found a Hawaiian restaurant, and I'm so thrilled that I can get musubi again. So that's
Get your fill of poi.
no poi.
No.
He's all about his musubi.
I am. Give me a nice spam sushi, and I'm set.
Yeah, but all right. So, Rob, what are you watching?
Horror-wise,
by the way.
I'm not watching too much. I'm still watching The Last of Us. As soon as this episode's over, in fact, I'm gonna run, right downstairs, turn on my HBO Max and go watch the next episode. Again, series is really good. It's amazing what they've done, how they've really they've adapted it perfectly almost for the show. I mean, there's stuff in the game that doesn't get. They kind of skip over certain things. They expand on other things, and it's just really, really well done. And I did want to share something. It's not a horror game, but it's just badass, and I want to talk about it anyway. I'm playing a game called Judgment, and for anyone who's not familiar with it, it's kind of a spin-off of the Yakuza series. And they made this one like Phoenix Wright. So you're investigating things. You bring stuff into a courtroom. You're trying to find the real killers or stuff like that. But apparently there are these kind of weird side quest investigations you have to do. And on the one I just did, like right before I stopped, there's like this group that's called like the Pervert Pack. And
I thought that was our name.
I took down the first guy whose name is Professor Panty. And Professor Panty steals girls' panties using his drone, and he'll steal it from clotheslines, and he has a preference for lacy ones, for the record. And then, so what you do is you put a GPS.
That could apply to any of you three.
So Japanese.
Yeah, I was gonna say Japanese game for $100, Bob. Like,
without question, right?
They got vending machines, for fuck's sake.
And so here's the kicker. So, you drop in a GPS tracker into a decoy pair of panties, and so you end up finding it right back to where the guy is, and he's in this like a lab coat. And when you find him, he's hunched over, sniffing the panties, just deep breath. And then he starts getting mad because he's really I sense a musk, and he's describing the scent of the panties. And then when he finds out that they're your panties. Like, I was smelling a man's panties and I wasn't wearing them, and it goes back and forth. And then you have a big battle. And before that, you think he's going to pull out a gun, but it's another pair of panties. And he explained that he got these from a pop star, and he snorts them, and all of a sudden he starts glowing this like magenta color. And you begin, one-on-one karate fight. And it's pretty awesome.
You're fucked up. Yeah, okay.
As in, yes, there's a lot of it.
Okay, that kind of trumps my great beer, I guess. All right. All right, Mike, hey, how you doing? What are you drinking? What are you watching?
I'm doing good. I am currently drinking from a local brewery in Gainesville, Swamphead. This is their Hogtown Irish Red, which is named after their Ren Fair that they have there, the Hogtown.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And this only comes out when they do the Ren Fair, and it is amazing. It's a really good red, 4.8%, and very smooth, very.
Yeah, I don't even know what.
Very
percent.
good.
No, this is 8.5%. Yeah.
Careful with that; it'll sneak
That's
up
a
on you.
sipping beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is a sipping beer. That's
but-
the good thing about this grape one. It's like it is one of those that you just want to sip and you just want to savor because there's just
See,
really...
I have a lot. I actually my brother-in-law saves and stores a lot of them, like the 120-minute IPAs from Dogfish Head, and that, and those ones he gets once a year. The 4-pack costs $50, and you save them. And we normally open them up after about 3 to 4 years, and at that point they're about 30%. And those are the one beer is a sipping beer that will knock you on your ass. But I am watching not much right now. I've been watching Sabrina play her new Harry Potter game, which if you are a Harry Potter fan, it is wonderful. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, it is a great open world game that you're able to do so much. It's basically GTA without the GTA
without the hookers.
Of it. Yeah, but
hookers.
There's so much to do. So many like side quests. You can pet as
I just
many.
Drove around and killed hookers. That's all I did. So I didn't do
Well,
anything.
I guess the best thing would be it's like the Red Dead Redemption of Wizards type deal. Like
right up
there's
there
so
with
many
Rob.
different things you can do. So many random like just tasks that you can just sit there and putz around with, and it's a really good game. And
Would the game be better if there were hookers in it?
No, because you play a child.
You know, that's okay. I'm not saying you.
Little column A, little column B.
He's playing games with panties.
What are you talking
Dr.
about?
Panties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smelling man panties.
Wizard and witch hookers.
Yeah. But besides that, also Flight Simulator, because I got the new Xbox Series X, so I've been flying, enjoying all my planes and just views and doing all my good stuff. And Sabrina's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm adjusting flaps, the mixture, all that stuff all at once." And she's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Just leave me alone. I'm flying over the Pacific right now."
Which actually reminds me, guys, we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch as well. We are actually going to start. These guys are going to start playing their games on Twitch. So if you follow us on Twitch, make sure you hit the notifications, all that shit, and they'll be playing all sorts of fucked up shit. So keep that in mind. So I'm just saying.
And so Randy has just chimed in. Wizards and Witch Hookers is going to be the new game. It's spooky. I mean, it seems like a natural. It's going to be a mature rated game, so it won't have the
¿Por qué no los dos? That's the way I see it. ¿Por qué no los dos? But Matt, hey, how you doing? Everything is fine as I can see.
Fine.
Everything
is
fine.
fine.
This is fine.
Everything's fine.
What are you drinking? What are you watching?
I am drinking the old Schafferhofer grapefruit.
I love that. That is the only way I'm able to drink grapefruit juice right now. So
your beer.
Me too.
Yeah, because there's a certain percentage of grapefruit juice in it, and because blood pressure medicine, I'm not allowed to drink grapefruit juice.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
That is the perfect amount of you're able to get the wonderful flavor of it, and also it's only 3.1, I think, ABV.
Yeah, it's a 3.2.
Getting your grapefruit juice in a responsible manner. I'm so proud.
Yeah, but then you can take blood pressure medication and drink grapefruit and get a nice little buzz.
Exactly.
And speaking of beers and stuff, like where I work, we have a craft of the month that we do. So we'll get a few kegs in, and like right now we've got from Swamphead, we've got Stump Knocker, which is their IPA. And then we've got one called Cowabunga. Hey, I'm just saying, we got one called Cowabunga, which is from Ellipsis, which is over by the Orlando airport, I guess.
Yep.
And it's called Cowabunga, and it's an orange vanilla sour. And it literally, when it comes out of the tap, looks like orange Fanta and tastes like a creamsicle.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's good shit.
Okay. We're going to definitely try that on a future episode. Sounds good.
So as far as what I'm watching, I just finished up Mayfair Witches.
Please tell me it was just as shitty as I think it was going to be.
Well, I don't know. I don't watch. I've never read the books, so I'm just on.
Outside of the books, even outside of the books, I stopped watching a couple episodes because I thought it was so fucking bad.
It was not bad. The last episode seemed like they rushed through a whole lot of stuff to get to where they wanted to be. And then I'm all caught up on The Last of Us, and I actually never played the game, and now I think I need to go get it.
Yeah.
So and I'll probably that'll be part of my little stream is playing that game.
Excellent. Here's the kicker. It actually had, and I don't know what the audiences for it is like now because The Last of Us came out in 2013. I think, for PlayStation 3, and then like a year and a half later, they remade it for PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
They just-
PlayStation
they-
4 and
Available for
Xbox.
Xbox because I really want to play
Yeah.
it.
It is not on
hey,
Xbox. It is a PlayStation exclusive. It might be on PC. I don't know if they've ported it or not. They will do some of their exclusives for PC, but they had, when it came out for PS4, they put this online game called Factions, and it was like the most badass multiplayer game I've ever played. You do 2 teams of 4, and you're basically, just some derelict, building or neighborhood, and essentially you're just going around. You're slowly leveling up in these, 20-minute games, killing the opposite team, and I don't have enough time to really describe it to do it justice, but it's phenomenal. And Allison just chimed in and said, just picked up The Last of Us on PS3 for Emmett to play. He's loving the show. Yeah, and you know what? The game is so damn good.
I've heard nothing but
everyone-
amazing things.
I'm conflicted. Wait till you finish the show before you play the game, or try to get through the game as quickly as possible, but it'll spoil the show for you. So I don't even know what to.
Game of Thrones was kind of the same.
Well, how
way, in my opinion.
how far is each episode in the game?
Well,
Has
they're
it following
gonna
the
do
same
whole-
storyline?
They're going to do the whole game. The first game will be done this season. They're going to finish it.
Right, but what I'm saying, each episode, like if I were to play episode 1,
yeah,
so I don't get too into the spoilers.
Episode 1 and 2 was basically the first chapter of the game. Chapter 2 was the third episode of the series with Ron Swanson. But basically, they bypass. They did something very different. I'm not going to get into it, but they did something very different with that episode versus what happened in the game. Episodes 4 and 5 were, I guess, the second half of the second chapter. Basically, they broke it up into
Him trying to find his
seasons. They did
brother.
spring, summer, fall, winter, and then one more spring. So I mean, it's pacing pretty close to how the game went. I mean, right now, like at the end of tonight's episode kicks off the chapter that would be winter. But there was also a DLC mission that was released after the game came out, and so that kind of explains some of what was going on in this chapter of the game. So I don't know what order they're going to do that in. I'm not going to give anything away. But I mean, like I said, it's pacing right alongside, and it's really amazing because they've never done a game like this. The Witcher was good, but The Witcher was still very much doing its own thing.
Yeah.
First season, second season was shit. Don't watch the second season of The Witcher. Garbage.
Third one is probably going to be even worse.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
absolutely. No question.
But no, I absolutely love it when they're able to take a game and make it into like a series or even like a movie, and they stick with it that good.
Unlike Resident Evil.
Yeah.
They stick with it really good. And
well, let's face it. I mean, after the first one, the only reason they did anything with Resident Evil was Mila Jovovich or Jovovich, whatever.
Those movies were really cheap to make, and they always
and they all just wanted to put her in it, and that's all it was.
Well,
the first one was good.
Interesting. Her movies don't do particularly well in the U.S., but they always do well overseas. She's like one of those people that
I'm number one in Belgium. Yes.
They love her in Japan. They love her throughout Europe. So
my sister, #1 prostitute in Kazakhstan.
Exactly. And now we know. I've actually been watching a couple of really cool movies, but they're Black history horror movies, so we're going to get to that in a few. I think before that, we'll get into Spooky Empire news, because they actually have announced a few guests.
It's the news. We're doing the news. That's our new theme song for the news.
Empire news.
First, let's see. Patty Mullen. For those of you that are fans of Frankenhooker, Patty Mullen is going to be there. She's been to Spooky before. She's an incredibly, very down-to-earth, sweet, very funny person. She's just fun to hang out with. She's one of those that'll probably be out by the pool hanging out with us. And Rob has something interesting he found out.
Be like Playmate or something like that.
She was 1988 Penthouse Pet of the Year.
That's what it was.
And I would be willing to bet money she slept with Ric Flair.
Woo!
Because I was doing some homework.
That's a story I need to hear.
Oh, Allison saw Cocaine Bear, and that was good. Well, she said,
"Oh
wow,
yeah, I want to go see that." I
still, that's on my list.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's the funny thing. They apparently, when I just did a search on her. I was just doing homework, seeing if she had done any movies, anything else other than Frank and Hooker. The
Anything
answer is no,
recent,
not
yeah.
really. That was her one big thing. But there was a clip on YouTube of she was with Ric Flair. You know, she was going to accompany him to something, and so he came out to talk to the people, and she's on his arm. Ric Flair fucked every woman pretty much if she was of legal age in the 80s,
Yeah.
in the late 70s, and the fact that they were in that close proximity, I know he had to have at least tried.
There's got to be a story there somewhere.
There had to be at least a finger in the butt somewhere.
There was something going on, and what's real funny is during this thing, Rick is talking her up. It's like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. Da, da, da. And man, she's a great talker too. And she says like 3 words. She's got this thick Staten Island accent. So it's just like, okay, that's all you, whatever. Okay, yeah. There was literally no reason to bring her out unless
there's a little something,
unless
something.
they were making Stinky.
Yeah, a little something, something.
Is
making stinky. There we go. There's the term of the night. Making stinky. There we go. God. All right. Then there's also
Zohan.
Well, Adam Sandler. That's all I gotta say about that. Craig David Dowsett, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and I actually saw that Spooky is also doing, I guess, like inviting to a screening. There's a special screening of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I didn't catch the date of it. But if you go on Spooky's page, you'll see all about it. But yeah, if you're interested in Winnie the Pooh, which personally I'm not, but these guys may be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Gonna see
Well,
that for sure.
I'm a Winnie the Pooh fan, like original Winnie the Pooh fan, and
I
actually really want.
Horror has killed enough of my childhood loves that I don't need another one ruined.
Have you watched the Banana Splits movie?
I love the Banana Splits movie.
Okay.
It's so awesome. Up there, I can't touch anything else because that was
I will say
just kiss. Nothing
I'm
can
not going to shit on anyone who wants to see the movie.
I am.
I have heard. I've read some reviews from people who like bad movies, and they're saying this is not a good bad movie. They came away with feeling like, well, we were going to make a really shitty horror movie, but Winnie the Pooh is now public domain, so you know what? Let's throw that in here just to give it a little more personality, because they said like there really isn't anything Winnie the Pooh about it. There wasn't really anything that clever.
Him and Pickle just go on a murdering spree.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. All it was. So
supposedly the kills are up there with like Terrifier 2.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was getting.
And if that's your thing, if you're into slasher shit and you want to go see a bad movie, check out Spooky's page. They got shit going on.
Yeah,
so.
I was kind of under the impression that they were trying to do something like Terrifier and get like that groundswell of.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like Banana Splits.
Start small, but you build that fan base up real quick, and who knows, maybe you get a great sequel out of it. But it's making a little bit of money, so people are seeing it. So hey. Best of luck to him, and I hope people see it.
That works for him. Yeah, that works for him. Whatever. I have.
That was Dio. Sorry.
Daddy.
Chupacabra.
He's
a fucking Chupacabra.
No, he's looking at me through the window. So sorry.
Yeah, it's Chupacabra. Always Chupacabra.
Chupacabra behind me. That was it.
Yes. And the third one is Heather Matarazzo, who I personally am super excited about because I loved Welcome to the Dollhouse. But if you've seen Devil's Advocate, if you've seen Scream, like which Scream was she in?
She was in Scream. She was in Scream 3. She was Randy's brother, or Randy's little sister. Yes. And then she also made an appearance in the one that came out last year. Just basically she was her character again. I think just a quick cameo.
And she's actually a cool person. I've followed her on TikTok and I've been in her lives, and she's just a very interesting person. She's someone who's been in a lot of shit and she's seen a lot of shit, which is fucking awesome. And which also makes for great stories. So yeah, exactly. It's interesting though. As far as the guests, the overall consensus from the grapevine, this year's being interesting. I'm hoping that PD's going to pull out something big, between now and the show, and there's just something big that he's sitting on that he hasn't announced yet. Because
I don't know if interesting is a word.
We don't have a headliner yet. That's just the best way. There's not a headliner yet. I mean, the Night Living Dead is cool,
Now, here's the interesting thing, though. I mean, we've seen MegaCon and Spookala and all these other cons, and I get they're all in competition and whatnot, but they're pulling out like fucking Chevy Chase, and they're pulling out like, oh God, who did I just see Spookala announce the other day? Someone help me out. They just announced.
Carrie Owens.
Yes.
Carrie Owens.
Yes.
But see, the last time Carrie Owens, I don't know if he was at MegaCon once when I was there, and he's got his own little booth,
little section,
yeah, away from everything, like he's quarantined.
I did meet him, and ironically, it was because of his horror stuff. You know, I love all the stuff he's done, but he actually played Ted Bundy in The Green River Killer, which he was fucking amazing. The movie itself was kind of like, especially if you're into serial killer lore like myself, but just watch the movie for no other reason than his performance, because holy shit, he was just fucking outstanding. And so I just had to ask him, I'm like, how do you go to a place that dark? Because it's like, and we've all watched serial killer movies, and it's all here. It's all in the eyes. It's like, if they can get those crazy, Zac Efron is Ted Bundy, whatever. Okay, pretty guy, nobody gives a shit. But when you can see that that disconnect in their eyes, and Carrie always definitely had it, and I'm like, how do you go to? And it was something that he really didn't even want to talk about. He's just like, I don't want to talk about that dark place. So apparently he did it and just left it all there. So that was even more fascinating to me, because he really like fucking killed it in that performance. So that's someone I would love to see at Spooky, but you know, hey, whatever.
Well, I was looking at the guest list for Chiller Theater, and they got Triumph, the dog.
Yes.
Triumph, the comedy dog.
Was going to be there as Triumph, which just like blew my fucking mind.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
As soon as Angie saw that, she's like, "When's the dates?" Like,
yeah,
well, we can fly up there.
Yeah,
we'll be Triumph. That'd be fucking awesome.
No, what was it? SharkCon. I saw SharkCon had Leia Thompson. It was like, oh man. Yep. Now, the other thing I will say though is this does kind of, reiterate the point that if you're going to a con just for a guest, you're probably going to be disappointed, because you're missing out on like 90% of the good shit. You can go online, get your autograph, whatever. But I mean, and May has historically been kind of like the party show. You get to come hang out with us and drink with us and watch Mike and fall into the pool or whatever. And, I mean, that's my thoughts on it. It's like, okay, if we don't get good guests, it's fine. It's more time for me to spend with my friends and more money for me to spend in the vendor's room. That's the way I see it. But, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
Well,
I'm going to be vending either way, so I'm there.
Silence. Crickets.
I am there regardless.
I'm going regardless, though. My birthday weekend.
It's really hard to even remember who the guests were last for the June show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't, and if I remember like Clint Howard, I remember Clint Howard after a while. So it's if we're just gonna have a party show, that's cool. Hopefully, because they had the camp counselor games, they had the movie in the pool, we had the float contest. If they're going that route again, I'm on board for it. I don't know. I mean, I know DoubleTree just has a different layout, so I don't know how it's all going to go down, but we will find out.
Yeah, but no, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because I've heard that PD and Gina have been out at a couple different conventions, so I mean, there may be some big announcements that they're sitting on. Who knows? We'll see. Schmoozing is important, but no, but Heather Matarazzo, and if she's the only one, fine. I'm happy to, because she's fucking cool as fuck. But yeah, those are it as far as the guest announcements. Now, while we talk about this, we're going to try something new. Now, if y'all have a crazy story at Spooky that, there's a lot of us have been number of times. Yeah, well, it says that we're going to tell ours. And if you in the chat have a crazy story that you'd like to share, our producer is going to hook you up with the link so you can so it's like a video call-in sort of thing. So if you're interested in sharing your story while we're sharing ours,
join us.
You got to be caller number 3.
Caller number 3. Caller number 3.
You don't even have to be caller number 3. I'll caller number 1 through 5 maybe.
Yeah. So maybe that's the whole thing. So Rob will just say in the chat that you have an interesting story, and our producer will hook you up. I'm assuming you're keeping an eye on the chat.
Yes. I will also say, if you don't want to be online or on the show, by all means, just share your story regardless.
And then we'll read it on the air. Either way, that's fine too.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a couple that I always tell. But you know what? I'll Mike. You know, you go first. Because
Well,
Mike
and
seems like, I got something to share.
since we're going back to the DoubleTree, I have to hit on the main story that was
Please
the
share.
worst
Please.
story and worst experience of my entire spooky and actually probably life experience of shitty situations that I got.
Mike,
put
I'll
into.
say this. I think it's the shittiest thing Spooky ever dealt with. I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
I got so that one time when we were at DoubleTree and everybody's like, "Hey, I heard there's an elevator stuck." Yeah, I was in it for 4 fucking hours.
That was,
4 fucking hours on a Saturday. Ruined my entire fucking night. Went up to the room to go get like 3 or 4 more beers, put them in my pockets and all that, come back down. And I'm in this elevator and it's packed full of people. And I was even like, it was me and Jackie, and I'm like, well, we're just trying to get back down. Let's go. And then there was these assholes that were in there, and they were shit faced. And they were part of the fucking Star Wars shit. What is it?
501st?
Yeah, what I don't know, whatever the fucking Star Wars thingamajiggy is. I don't know. They were fucking Trekkies or whatever. I don't know. And they decided, hey, we're gonna jump. And they jumped and locked the fucking elevator into place. And we were stuck in between 2 floors fully, because we'd even tried to open up the doors and it was brick wall, nothing. And we were stuck in there with 20 people on this elevator for 4 hours until the fire department finally came and we had to crawl out through the top. But we hitting a button, calling the front desk. They're like, "Oh, we'll get you down. We'll get you down. It's gonna be 20 minutes. 20 minutes." No, 4 fucking hours. Yeah. It's like I was shoved in the corner in leather fucking pants. Leather pants. In May, I was sweating my dick off.
Well, that's your fault for wearing leather in May, first of all.
I look good in them, okay? That's why. But no, it was fucking horrible. It was the worst experience ever. We had a lady that wasn't even part of Spooky that was losing her fucking shit, like literally trying to fight people in the elevator as we're this close. And I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell?
To fuck around with.
Then there's also an 8-year-old boy that has been riding the elevator up and down all night long. That was
he
in
broke
there.
it then.
Oh my god, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Maybe some
Absolutely horrible. And the thing was, we were on like the 10th floor, and the rest of the weekend, I took the goddamn stairs. And we made sure we did not have. At first, they were like, "We'll give you a discount." We're like, "No, you're not giving us a discount." They're like, "Well, we'll pay for one night." We're like, bullshit. They paid for a full stay, so it was good.
So,
But
DoubleTree, thank you for that.
yeah, thank you for that. But
elevator.
God, it was absolutely horrible, absolutely horrible. And then the one fucking stormtrooper was trying to fucking fight me in the corner. I'm like, what the fuck's going on over here? Like, this is,
Oh my god.
oh, it was horrible.
Wow. I mean, we can
I have
laugh about it
background for
now,
that,
but
too.
still, that's something you don't fuck with, man.
No, it was bad. It was a very bad experience. And the thing was, is
Hair in my face driving me nuts.
Sabrina and Perry were going up to, like, once someone found out that an elevator was stuck and they knew that we were just going up to get beers and that, and they're like, yo, it's been like 45 minutes. Like, hey, maybe they ran into somebody in the lobby, something like that. You know, you run into people.
Yeah, as it happens, yeah.
And then after a while, they're like, they're not back and they're trying to call us. Well, elevator, you don't have service. So, like, we couldn't even call. Our only communication was through the, like, button to talk to the front desk. So someone came out and said, hey, there's an elevator stuck. So, and so Sabrina and Perry were like, I wonder if that's where Mike and Jackie are. So they go running up in that. And I have heart problems in that. And Sabrina's like, hey, I'm just trying to find out, is my husband and Jackie, are they on that? Oh, well, we can't tell you who. She's like, listen, he has heart problems. We're just trying to figure out if he's on there or not. Oh, yeah, he's on there. They got AC. There was no AC. It was 90-something degrees in there. We were fucking wetting our asses off and all that. And yeah, I saw a side of Sabrina and Perry that I've never seen before because they were fucking pissed. They were pissed.
Wow.
But I gotta say thank you to whatever Orlando fire department, because they were super nice, and I got to climb out through the shaft thing, and I got to put on the helmet.
Shaft.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, the guy let me put on his helmet, so that was pretty cool. Like,
Well, of course, because we thought
Like
you
a
would tell.
2-year-old.
That's why.
I love my firefighter friends. I got to wear the
they
helmet.
would not let me go into the truck to pull the horn, but
Oh,
I
well.
wanted to. But
Let's talk about a way to sober you up real quick, right?
and that's the thing. Like after that point, like all my drinking was like I was sweating
Like,
it
nope,
out.
we're done.
I was fine. I was good. I'm like, now I'm
We're
sober
done.
at 2 o'clock in the morning, missed the entire party, missed DJ, missed PD DJing, all that stuff, and then everything closed down, so I couldn't even get another drink. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah.
This wasn't the
Well,
same year that the water main broke, was it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. It was.
It was.
Because, yeah.
Which is
yeah.
why the DoubleTree's actually, been revamped since then.
Yeah.
And that all happened from, I remember, what the hell was his name? Daryl's brother in Walking Dead.
Oh,
Michael
Michael
whatever.
Rooker.
Yeah.
The Rook.
Like his toilet
Rooker,
started
yes.
overflow, and like one of those reasons, and then like a whole thing with the water main breaking, and yeah, it started up in like one of the top floors and came all the way down. So yeah.
Oh, that was a good year for the DoubleTree.
I was lucky because I was living. We had a condo like literally up over the bridge right there and right behind. So we didn't stay at the hotel. We just
yeah.
I could
you
walk
just
there if
pretty
I
much
wanted to.
popped over. Yeah.
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 So I
No,
don't have to worry
we've
about any
seen
of
some crazy things over the years. I mean, just from I think it was the second spooky we went to, Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, House of a Thousand Corpses that just come out, and he performed a wedding.
That was 2005.
Yeah, 2005. He performed a wedding, and the crazy thing about the wedding, and this is why we weren't allowed back at this hotel, the best man apparently had
Hilton.
just gotten a tattoo of Captain
One of the
Spaulding.
reasons, for the record. There were lots of reasons why.
But this was pretty high up there.
Sure.
He had a tattoo, Captain Spaulding tattoo on his ass, so he dropped trow for the entire ceremony, and it wasn't even a nice ass. It was just flat and square and cottage cheese and hair and yuck.
Hank Hill. Yeah.
It was kind of gross. So, but the entire ceremony, I mean, Sid Haig is putting his Captain Spaulding spin on the whole. I remember the one thing about the vows is like, do you promise, to not bother her or not bother him if he leaves the lid up, blah, 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 on the toilet, shit like that. But
Well, yeah, no, he did a whole thing where he goes, and so he starts yelling at the groom, and put the goddamn toilet seat down. It's not that fucking hard. And he turns to her, and you lift the goddamn toilet seat up when you're not using it.
and it was full on Captain Spaulding, man. It was fucking great. It was
And it
fucking
was,
great.
it's like he did the whole thing in character. So it's
Yeah,
like,
he did.
how much of that was
I don't
Rob
think the
Zombie's
character's that
script?
far off from Sid, though.
No,
Yeah,
Sid's
no.
was one of the sweetest people on the planet.
He was very sweet, but he could be a grumpy bitch too. He could be a grumpy bitch. And like I said, I've seen both sides of him. He was a great man. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, he performed the ceremony as Captain Spaulding, and there was that guy that just dropped trow and just sat there with his ass hanging out the entire ceremony. That was
That was just lovely.
So Matt, do you have one?
What was it? Last show. Yeah, there was some vendor's kid
That
was
fucking.
running around all not cocaine
Immediately.
boy.
No,
Not
no,
cocaine
I
boy.
know who you're talking about.
Oh,
though.
okay.
I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. That
Some
fucking
vendor's kid was running around going to all the booths and saying something like, give me $1 or give me some candy, or he was asking for money or he was gonna or he wouldn't leave. That's what it was. It's like, give me $1 or I won't leave. And he was going to all the vendors doing this. So he got to one booth that was by me. I don't want to mention the vendor. So they went and found out where this kid was from, found out it was another vendor, went to go talk to his parents, and she got called a cunt or something like that, or a Karen or whatever. And this whole big thing blew up, and they were booted from the show. And I hope I never see them again, because I went looking for them myself, and they had already packed up and left. I was just like, some little kid running over here.
Obviously, this wasn't a regular spooky vendor.
I don't think so. I mean, this may have been their first show,
I
or
don't
the
think
first
any of
time
our
they brought
regular
their
vendors
kids
would've-
to the show. It's
Yeah.
like, keep your crotch goblins to yourself.
Yeah, crotch goblins. I always love that term. I mean, one of the things I can think of off the top of my head, and a bunch of people, I didn't witness this myself, but I've heard about this from the person who owned the room. There was someone who, and this is at the Wyndham, big surprise. Somebody, I guess he left his room, and someone that apparently, I guess he didn't know. I guess the guy was drunk and mistook the wrong room, but he got in through the sliding glass doors, and I guess he kind of like jimmied the lock or whatever, and passed out in the room, but not before taking a pizza and throwing it up on the ceiling, puking
Walter
on the
White
bed.
style.
Yeah, puking on the bed and then crashing on the floor. And so this guy comes back to this random guy in his room with puke on the bed and pizza on the ceiling.
Yeah, that was I was at the Wyndham. That was I won't say who it was. But
I won't say the names, but it was.
He may or may not have been dressed up as Michael Myers at the time.
That really narrows it down. But I've actually heard
like
that person has been banned from Spooky since. I don't know. This is the grapevine, so I don't know if it's actually true, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to share one story that I can't verify myself, but it does seem that, everyone of knowledge agreed this happened, that Tom Sizemore was bringing in prostitutes at Mayhem.
Yeah, because he was right below us. He was in a room right below us. Yes.
Yeah. So
I applaud that. I applaud that personally. I'm like, you fucking go, man.
And but the kicker was, it's not that he was even, I'm sure he was having sex with them, as you do, but apparently tears were shed as well. He gets a bit emotional, and as is what it is. So yeah, crying over hookers.
Passionate man. He is a passionate man.
He is.
To be fair, speaking about crazy people, there was a moment that you witnessed with Gary Busey.
Oh, the Gary Busey one. Oh.
I didn't witness it. I witnessed the
I thought you witnessed it.
Well, no, what I witnessed with Gary Busey was him having a way too involved conversation with two 14 or 15-year-old girls.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like, I just remember him like, there's something I've noticed where, like, when some guys, I'm trying to think like if this is like a Woolerson kind of thing. Or how it goes, but basically there's a certain tone of voice that guys who kind of are like sexual predators use. Not saying Gary Busey's a sexual predator. No, just saying he uses
allegedly.
But it's like a daddy thing where you're like, wow, that's really interesting. Like you're kind of, it's placating and condescending and it's a weird mix. You would know the tone if you heard it, but again, he's talking to these.
I know exactly the tone you're talking about. It's super creepy.
And yeah, it's like, it's one of those moments where it's like, most celebs don't spend that much time talking to anyone outside their table. Now Gary's looking a little too.
That was, yeah. And then, of course, that was also the same weekend that he tried to motorboat Elvira and got banned from Spooky for it. So
he didn't try to motorboat her; he just grabbed her tits.
I thought he tried to motorboat her. That's what I heard.
No, it was simple. Hey, how you doing? Do you remember me? Honk. That's how it happened. But
and then also waking up in one of the pool chairs, ordering a cheeseburger. Didn't that happen?
Possible.
David Hasselhoff?
With Gary Busey, I don't doubt anything.
Yeah.
We just had so Allison mentioned in regards to Tom Sizemore. I felt horrible last weekend when I heard about him in critical condition because she picked him on the Deadpool. Okay, Allison, brilliant call, but B, he's not dying. He's a cockroach. Trust me. Nothing short of a nuclear bomb is going to kill Tom Sizemore.
That's true. That's true.
And then Mandy.
But no, hold on. He actually is in the hospital because he did have a brain aneurysm.
He's not going to die. No, that's what she's talking about.
Okay.
He's in critical condition for that. Trust me, he ain't going to die.
No, he's probably not going anywhere, but I understand why the call. Yeah, I get that.
But then Mandy just chimed in, and I guess she's asking for a bit of a story here.
Matt would probably know this one.
Wasn't it Richard Dreyfuss who went off on that odd religious political rant during his Q&A? That shit was nuts.
I believe
I didn't go to that Q&A, so no, I don't know.
I didn't hear about that.
I think it was.
Also, we just had a Twitch comment. Kyle V in the CV.
What's this channel all about?
We just so you know, welcome, Kyle. we're a webcast that we talk about a horror convention and then a lot of other horror stuff that goes on down in Central Florida. So if you like horror stuff, you're in a
Yeah, if you like horror and drinking, you're in the right place.
yeah. And right now we're talking about some of just the batshit craziest stuff we've seen over the years. On that note, and this is no, hold on, let me just throw one other thing in because it's timely since we're back at the DoubleTree.
Fair.
If you don't know, the I think it's the North Tower overlooks the pool.
Yeah.
The North Tower is infamous for people flashing the people who are in the pool.
Well, and also the packing lady that spent 5 hours fucking unpacking and repacking her fucking suitcase. We thought it was an animatronic. It was not. It was someone unpacking and packing her suitcase for 5 hours. We sat by the pool.
I thought you were telling Sabrina was the packing lady. I'm like, wait, what?
No. We were by the pool watching this shit for 5 fucking hours, and this person was taking stuff out, putting it over somewhere, going back to her suitcase, taking the shit, putting it back in. I don't know what
I don't pay attention that long.
For 5 hours? I mean, what were you doing for 5 hours?
Exactly. As I say, I don't pay attention that long.
Sitting in the pool chair. We were sitting in the pool chair just fucking watching because we were like enamored with it.
Yeah. But yeah, just that's something everyone should know. For those of you who are going to be the first timers, you've never been to a show at the DoubleTree.
Now, first, hold on. But if we do have something, it's on our YouTube and it's also on our Facebook. Check out our tour of the DoubleTree, so you know where everything is and what to check out, what not to check out, so on and so forth. So make sure you check that out on our channel. So
yeah, but just so you know, if you have a room in that tower, there's only 2, so it's not hard to figure out. You know, and if you look down and you see the pool, you know which one you're in. Yeah. If your lights are on, people are seeing directly into your room if your blinds aren't closed. Yep. And some people have used that to their advantages. I've seen some very nice asses. You know, I've seen some pressed hams right up against the window.
That's right.
So, you know,
nice
that's
right up against the glass.
Yeah, no, we've seen everything. And I believe there was a couple, I missed it, but way back, I think in 2014, I believe there was a couple that just going at it and they had.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I remember that. Fully, full on, right on the chair, up against the glass.
Hey, and good for them, man. Good for them.
So things have been seen, and for the record, if you want to be seen, we don't condone it. It's illegal. But if that's what you want to do, no one's going to say anything.
He doesn't speak for all of us.
No, all I'm saying is no one's going to say anything until the show is well past over. So, you know, there you go.
But speaking of, you know, Richard Dreyfuss and his Q&A, that is another one that we do need to bring up. That is actually very recent, and I would honestly say Tom Sizemore had the craziest Q&A that has ever been at Spooky.
The only one that comes close, because he literally wasn't even filtering.
Does not give a fuck. The man,
no, there was no filter. He held nothing back.
He's hotter than like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, and he's a better actor than they are, and he just went fucking batshit, and it was amazing, and it was beautiful.
No, it was
outstanding.
It was the most raw thing because again, this man had no filter. He was holding nothing back. He was talking about how he and Juliette Lewis were dating when they filmed Natural Born Killers, and apparently she just beat the shit out of him one night because he was being asked to her, and basically he challenged her to hit him, and she did. She wailed. As you do. Yeah, and then Allison, I was also going to chime with Lori Petty when she had her.
You're right. You're right.
The skunk, and in the middle of it, you know, she pulled out a half-drunk bottle of wine and just started filling up her glass, just glug, 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 and you know, drank the rest of that. I mean, that woman didn't stop drinking all weekend long.
No, she didn't.
Yeah. But when it comes to crazy things that's spooky, you know, you noticed like, you know, people having sex is kind of low on the list because that's something we regularly see. What happened? What?
Sorry, we were saying goodbye to Kyle. Kyle was nice enough to actually. You folks are some interesting characters. Got to go, but he's following us now. So Kyle,
we appreciate you, Kyle.
Kyle, you're our Twitch fan of the month.
Yes.
You might be our only one, but that's
we'll send you a bobby pin with our initials on it. But yeah, you notice that when we talk about, you know, people having intercourse is kind of low on the list because it's like that's pretty standard. I don't think it's spooky unless you walk in on whether it's in the pool or in the hot tub or with their curtains open. It's pretty common regular
You know
sight.
that white froth that's in the hot tub at the Wyndham, folks?
It's semen.
Yeah, yes. That's. I mean, I was gonna think, Mike, you beat me to the punch. I was gonna build up to something.
Exactly, Matt.
pleasant.
Yeah.
So,
Well, see, but I also have another DoubleTree story though.
Okay.
Since we're going back to DoubleTree. So the one time that Marky Ramone was there, and that I was
he's so cool.
violently ill in the shower because I decided to drink everything that that every single person gave me. So there was that. And Sabrina was like, "I'm going to go get breakfast," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm going to stay in the shower." And
As you do.
so she goes down to it was the Starbucks at the time, or the coffee shop, whatever it was, and
Ice
she's
cream shop
going
now,
back
but yeah.
up, and she gets into the elevator, and it's with Marky Ramone, and it's just her and him, and she's like, and he's like, "Come on, you can go up," and she's like, "Okay," and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm in the elevator with Marky Ramone," and he's got a big old lipstick kiss right on his neck. And she's like, "So, interesting night?" And he's like, "This girl just came up and said, 'I love you,' and kissed me on the neck." He's like, "I gotta make sure this is off before I get back to my hotel room because my wife's gonna kill me." She's like, "Well, wipe it off." And he's like, "Is it gone?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "She's gonna kill me." And then she comes busting
and then
into
you
the
just
room
outed him.
and is like, "I was in the elevator with Marky Ramone," and I'm like, "What? What?" Like, she's like, "You should have banged down with me." I'm like, I couldn't move, but like, yeah, no, she rode in the elevator with Marky Ramone, and it was just one of those like, "Oh, interesting night. Oh, my wife's gonna fucking kill me when I get back to the room." He's
And
like,
you just outed him.
yeah.
You just ruined the bro code right there. You just violated the bro code. But speaking of drink, I know Rob's got like another good one from like the old days of the Wyndham.
well, I was gonna bring this up, and it's one of those things that if you were there for it, you saw it, and it was hilarious.
It's still hilarious
A lot
after.
of times, when there's a convention going on, you're not the only event going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I want to say this was 2009, give or take a year, but there was a family having their wedding reception, and I think wedding at the Wyndham.
It's happened more than once, but okay.
That's right before we started, so I don't remember this one.
And it's a black African American family, and so it's a big group of them.
You can say black. You don't have to say African American. You can say
whatever,
black.
just one or the other, whichever you prefer.
I'm giving you I'm giving you the go ahead. Anyway,
it's they were very shocked. This was convention. The whole convention culture was still relatively new. Like I think if there's a convention going on these days, people kind of understand it.
yeah.
The whole scene hadn't blown up just yet, and so seeing their reactions at like Jason and Freddy Krueger walking by while they're all in their wedding dress and bridesmaids dress, everyone's just super dressed up, and then these are their neighbors. It was just a great it's a great split audience. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah, that's not the one I was talking about, though.
Okay, so no, I've got another one. So
I'm talking about Jekyll and Hyde. That's what I'm talking about.
So the Jekyll and Hyde, and I've told this before, but it's one of my early favorite stories. When Spooky first moved to Orlando, it didn't really have the after party yet. It was not something that had.
This is the first days of us going out by the pool and drinking.
Yeah. It wasn't a thing yet. It's like that part of the convention hadn't started yet. But those of us who've been going to Dragon Con and other big party cons, were bringing in that culture. And so I remember it was a drizzly night. A couple of us were together. We had booze, and we were trying to find something. Gatorville wasn't even open yet, or they hadn't left it open. So we found a couple tables with umbrellas. We put them out, and there we are. We have our little mini bar, and it gets to the point where people start coming outside because again the weather's bad, but there's nothing else going on. There is no evening entertainment yet, and people come up to our table. Can I buy a drink from you guys? We're just pouring them, because we have stuff. And one of the things we brought or a friend of ours brought, it was called Jekyll and Hyde. And it was a combination of two liqueurs, I guess. One was berry flavored.
Yeah.
One was herbal flavored. They were both in like these jars that you put them together, like they were curved, but you put them together, they made a square, just for the
Yeah, no,
presentation.
one of them was a fruit thing, and the other one was an herbal liqueur.
The berry one was red, the herbal was green. You mix them together, and they turn puke brown.
And fucking disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't great, but it was a neat little thing. And a friend of mine on top of that, so she takes these and then she starts like dumping rum into it on top of that.
Yeah, so we just start, as you do, pouring a bunch of shit into the same cup.
Then it turns bad, and so at that point she just starts pouring whatever she can and mixes just this awful suicide concoction. This guy comes in, he's drunk off his ass. He comes there, hey, can I have a drink? And so, Rita, our friend, just here, take it. And he starts pounding this horrible concoction he has made. That's great. And he thinks it's wonderful. And then he starts telling us he's one of the tattoo artists. And he then starts saying, you guys need to come and get a tattoo from me tomorrow. Honestly, I have no idea how the guy even survived after drinking.
I don't think he actually showed up the next morning because it was just, there was so much and he was so gone.
And Mandy just chimed in, that one year Spooky happened during some gospel ladies group pink gala. Those ladies were so intrigued and got a kick out of everyone's cosplay. I'm pretty sure some of them bought tickets. It was cute to see those ladies get into the spooky mood. That's always fun.
The red cup of destiny. You're right, Randy. The red cup of destiny.
Yeah, no, because there have been times like that. Like the one-off year we were at the Hilton. You guys remember that?
Before we got kicked out of there too.
Yeah, there were two other conferences going on. One was one was for like and I've told this story before as well. It was like for some rare nosebleed disorder, and so a bunch of doctors were there. And then there was a car show going on top of that.
Lotus convention.
A Lotus convention. And it was just funny because Sunday morning, I'm going down because we were doing a charity table that year. And this doctor and I were hanging out in the elevator, and he's just like, this is so cool. And he starts telling me about the blood disorder thing that he's here for. He goes, but I love lotuses. So I bought a pass to go look at that. And I love horror. I bought a pass to go to this. And this guy's just like, this has been like the best weekend I've ever had. So it's nice when, you have somebody who just gets into all of that.
Plug in the laptop.
All right. So, I mean.
But the other funny thing is just a nice one to I guess, end the topic with. There is video somewhere. A lot of it's been put the kibosh on. But when PD gets drunk, it's always fun, especially when he's drunk at the VIP party. And
that doesn't take long.
Yeah, that's always fun. And then on top of that, there was one year that he started dancing on the table.
Are we allowed to talk about this?
You know what? We're not paid by Spooky.
Okay.
And it's already happened. We're not showing the video.
And if there's video of it, then I need to find that.
It's out there somewhere. I don't know where it is. But it was just, he was having a good time, as you do, and he loves Prince, so he was dancing around to Darling Nikki, and people were giving him money. So I think that's a great thing. I think that's fucking fantastic, personally.
He's got no shame. It's
I will share one last thing. There was
I think that was fucking hilarious. I wish I could find the video of that because that was amazing. The fact that PD is a stripper, I'm here for it.
There was
on his roller skates.
Yeah, does anyone remember my giant 5-foot latex?
Oh, the tentacle.
For those of you who don't know, I used to walk around with a 5-foot giant latex tentacle.
I miss that thing so much.
That thing, man, was in so many orifices.
It's now.
It was ribbed for her pleasure.
Yeah, it's now.
Or his. No judgment.
It's now hanging up at the bar at Gods and Monsters. They've since painted
historical
it with
artifact.
Anyway, first year I brought that. I'm just walking, carrying around my shoulder. I love my tentacle, and two things happened with that tentacle.
He said.
Early on in the evening, there was kind of this trashy chick with giant fake tits. She's walking around in a very small bikini, showing them off for that real reason. And she's
As
looking
they
at the
do,
tentacle.
yeah.
And she goes, "That'd be really
Hey,
good at my job."
if you pay that much, you'd be showing them off too. So
She didn't pay that much for them. Trust me. This was
Googly eyes.
like a swap shop plastic surgery.
gotcha. Okay.
You know.
All right. Swap shop. That
Yeah.
paint
She
picture.
went
Got
to,
it.
she went to the Miami-Dade swap shop for these. And she just made a comment. It's like, "Oh, that'd be really good at my work." "Oh, what's that?" "Porn star." And then she turns around and walks off. I did look her up later. No, she's not a porn star. She's a cam girl, and she wasn't even a good one. So, just
Yeah.
putting that out there. But
Yeah.
what's
I
funny
was going to
about
say the deep throat contest on it. That was
no,
pretty epic.
What the best was the Asian schoolgirls.
Yes.
So I brought it back
Talk
for
about a
one other
surreal
year,
moment.
and I'm just hanging out in the lobby, and there are these two Japanese girls. They're actually from Japan, and I think they were working either at Disney or Universal, but they both kind of came dressed up in schoolgirl outfits with like zombie makeup on, or some sort of
Yeah, there's something
going
called
on.
like High School of the Dead or something like that. That's like
But
anime
these
horror.
two girls were on that tentacle. I mean, they loved it. They were just, and it's like, okay, stereotypes exist for a reason.
Mhm.
They
They were all about the tentacle.
But here's the thing: like the two of them hung out with me for like an hour, and just chatting. But they loved the
Hung
tentacle.
out, just chatting.
One of them was drunk off her ass and was just thrown up and was like trying to not pass out, while the other one was kind of nursing her, which was why we hung out. But she was also drunk too. But yeah, anyway,
Allegedly.
along with the tentacle. The tentacle might be making a comeback in another shape or variation. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, so obviously, that's a reason to go to Spooky. I mean, if not just for the celebrities, even if the celebrities aren't wowing you, that's more money for you to spend in the vendor room and more time for you to witness crazy shit that goes on at Spooky, which it literally does every year.
Mandy brought up something else, just a funny. And this is a nice little note.
And I
to
just
end on.
saw that. Yes, I remember that.
Oh my God! Yes, that was outstanding.
The year we had the inflatable haunted vagina house.
Yeah.
No, that thing was fucking wonderful. You come out going,
Yeah. Which I think it was actually this year. It was the year of the shirt, I think, because it was Halloween.
I believe so. I believe so.
And I would just like to announce that Tigger is full of shit because he just announced, "Okay, I am totally innocent. No stories here."
Tigger, you better get your ass on this show and start sharing some stories because I know better than that. I remember specifically when Tigger did a lap dance stripping and almost naked for Mr. Rob there.
Not spooky. Oh, wait, yeah. I remember that in the Tigger costume. Okay, that was, oh shit, you unlocked something. God damn it.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
And we're done. Done.
Well, unless someone wants to come on and share some stories, we are going to move on. So if you want to, share your stories on the air, then by all means, let us know in the chat and Rob will get you hooked up. But yeah, this is a good way to talk about this because I actually, moving on. I am actually really, really fascinated because I didn't realize how much of a subculture, and this is before Jordan Peele. There was a documentary called Horror Noir, and we've talked about this before, and we recommend it because I believe there is also a sequel, which I want to check out now, where it gets into Black horror, not only just blaxploitation, which has always been how I got into horror to begin with, back with Blackula in 1973. But everything from Night of the Living Dead onto like Candyman and just so many others, and just researching like hoodoo zombies and so many others. And it's thanks to Jordan Peele, I think so much has been opened up since then, and so many other directors and producers and storylines that normally hadn't gotten mainstream attention all of a sudden are now at the forefront. So you actually have a lot more of a variety, especially when it comes to horror. There was actually two I watched last night. One was called We Have a Ghost. Now it's kind of a lighthearted, kind of happy family Ghostbusters kind of movie. And if you like David Harbour, who was Hopper. Thank you, Hopper.
Whatever you
want. He plays a ghost in this movie, and Anthony Mackie, who, as we all know, from Marvel movies. Yeah. We know him from the Marvel movies. It's, they move into a haunted house. There's a ghost in the house. So they become an internet viral sensation because of the ghost, which is as things would be these days. You put it on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. So if you want something like fun and lighthearted, check out We Have a Ghost. it's kind of cute. The other one I checked out was something called Black Box, which shockingly, for no other reason, watch it for Felicia Rashad. Now, for those of you who don't remember, that's Mrs. Cosby. Or Mrs. Huxtable.
Mrs. Huxtable.
Mrs. Huxtable. Yes, Mrs. Huxtable. The fact
Oh,
that
okay.
she's starring in a horror movie. Because I was watching it. I went into because the synopsis sounded so good. It's about a guy who's lost his memory and he tries this experimental psychological treatment and it goes haywire and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like Get Out, kind of meets Total Recall, kind of meets a couple. It's an interesting concept. And psychological horror is always my wheelhouse. So I didn't even realize it was her. And I started hearing the voice and I'm like, why does that voice sound familiar? And then I realized, holy shit, that's Mrs. Huxtable. And she's downright fucking creepy in this movie. So I'd like
That's
that.
when I was watching Interview. Radon Chong was in it, and I was like, "Why does she look so familiar? I haven't seen her forever."
It took me
and
a
there
while.
she was, and I had to look her up. And I always remember her from Tales from the Dark Side.
Exactly.
So I was like, "Oh man, where has she been?"
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that was utterly fucking fantastic. So Black
Nope
Box
was crap. Sorry.
But if you like psychological horror, I suggest Black Box. Yeah, I think it was 2020. It's a very slow burn, but if you like those creepy, that slow tension kind of where you're trying to figure out what's going on, I highly recommend it. Absolutely fantastic. I think I kind of rushed the ending, but they can't all be winners. But that's what I watched recently. I mean, what y'all can chime in here. I mean, what are some of your favorite black horrors, favorite horror directors? Actors.
I think Jordan
whatever.
Peele's got a great thing going on. I hope he continues on with that because he's doing kind of. I want to see him do some monsters though. I want to see what his take on a monster movie would be.
And I agree with you, Matt. Like I think
Because he's got the psychological side down.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bring a monster in Jaws style where you don't see it all the time, but I want to see what he can do with something like that.
Kind of what they
Instead
did
of
with Nope, but that was more
that was a
than
ribbon in the sky.
Yeah.
No, and I'm with you. And it was a great concept. I liked the
Yes.
concept, and Keith David for the short period he was in it, but yeah, it was a cloud alien. Whatever, spoilers,
Yeah, no,
whatever.
but
So
Matt, I agree with you. I think like if he could come up with some type of monster, it would be an amazing movie. It would be.
I think so.
Well, I mean have any
with
of you
his
seen
run
Candyman?
on Twilight Zone, he's there's stuff there.
That's one of my favorite. Like, I mean, I love the original Twilight Zone, but that remake with him doing it, me and Sabrina absolutely fucking love that. Like, he did such a good job with that.
Wasn't he also supposed to do? He was going to bring back Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, I
wasn't
heard
that him that was going to do that, but then it went under.
That. I don't know if it was actually going to happen or not, but I know there was talks about it.
Yeah.
On that note, just not to veer off topic too much, that you just reminded me of a little bit of general horror news. I don't know.
And just for the hold on, Tony Todd is one of the best horror icons. Absolutely,
yes, I love that man very much.
That man is fucking
awesome.
fantastic, and I will line up to every time he comes into town. So yes,
absolutely.
Continue.
But yeah, so we've been talking about Tales from the Crypt and bringing that back. About a year ago, there was talk from HBO that they were going to reboot, start from scratch with True Blood. They said, all right, well, it's been 10 years since we started it. We're going to do a new True Blood. And then this week they officially pulled the plug.
You cannot replace Lafayette. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, and for the best, I suspect.
And also, Stucky, she had my last name. No, you can't do that.
That pronounced it wrong.
Yeah, she pronounced it a different way. I pronounced it the actual French
Paquin,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Paquin. That's how you actually pronounce it in French. So,
after season 4, it went to shit anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did have nice cities, though.
But yeah, anyway, so yes, it was. Although, it's fun fact. It's like if you've ever been to any of those kind of small New Orleans bayou towns, stuff like that in East Texas, I kind of been to a lot of them. Ain't nobody looked anything like those people in those real towns.
Mm-mm.
No, they had too many teeth.
Yeah, too many teeth. Too many limbs.
But there actually is a really good black horror that comes out of that area, Eve's Bayou.
Eve's Bayou. Well, Eve's Bayou, I think, was Mississippi, I
Was it Mississippi? I thought it was Louisiana.
It probably was. It could have. I don't know. But yeah, Eve's Bayou. I mean, that's one of my personal favorites. The whole story of how that
Samuel
got
L. Jackson
started.
is fucking fantastic in that.
The woman who directed that was Cassie Lemon, who had been an actress before that, but she never really got her big break. Like the closest thing she ever got to being known was in Silence of the Lambs. She was, Jodie Foster, Starling. She was her
the roommate.
roommate in the FBI.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's as big of a role as she ever had. And basically, and she'd been around for like a decade at that point. And so at that point, she's just like, a couple years goes by. She's like, still not getting anything. I'm going to do my own thing. So she's got Eve's Bayou, and she did two incredible. First of all, it's a great Southern Gothic horror movie. She did one of the, I think, hardest things anyone's ever done, and she got good performances out of children. Because I'll tell you what, I hate kids in movies. I love them because they.
That could be a show in and of itself, man. Just worst kids in horror movies because I hate so many of them.
It's not even a shot at,
punch him.
Yeah, that's why you got to watch that. Did you ever see Clown? They kill a whole bunch of kids in that movie. It's awesome.
Yes. Sign me up.
And Clowns are great. You've never seen Clown? Oh, it's so good.
I don't do clowns. Clowns bore me.
Oh, this is badass. This movie is awesome. You need to see that movie.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, in Eve's Bayou,
sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. She manages to figure out how to direct children, and she cast some good ones in that. Yeah. And then the other kind of kicker is Samuel Jackson acts, but not like Samuel Jackson.
No. It's actually,
he's still a very larger than life character.
But it's not his
typical stuff. Samuel Jackson. He's not saying, motherfucker every other, phrase, every other sentence. So it was a reminder that he really could act. He is a good actor when he had something that would let him. I mean, and back then that still wasn't hard to find. I think it wasn't for another decade where he would kind of get hit with the Christopher Walken syndrome, where they just wanted to hire him to play Samuel Jackson rather than play a character. Yeah.
Yeah, but there really are just a lot of great black horror movies out there, and like I said, thanks to Jordan Peele, there are so many more now. If you even just look up, just in the past, I'd say 3 or 4 years, you can actually just look up, black horror movies, and there are so many more that have come out thanks to the door that Jordan Peele has opened. And the thing I think I find most fascinating about Jordan Peele is that he's actually a horror fan, and we knew him all from Key and Peele, but he's a legit horror fan, which makes his movies that much better. So when someone that's actually a fan makes a movie, that just adds a whole new level,
Yeah, agreed.
And there's silence.
Winding backwards, it's so we got, the current day horror movies, but, I always hold a special place in my heart for, the 70s blaxploitation movies.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's
my wheelhouse.
Yeah, various reasons why I love those, but
because Pam Grier and tits, that's why.
Those are two big reasons.
I was gonna say if there is a blaxploitation movie I would recommend to anyone, it's got to be Sugar Hill.
Yeah. Also,
if you like some voodoo, if you want to a good voodoo movie, man, Marky Bay and Sugar Hill, fucking outstanding. 1974.
Also called The Zombies of Sugar Hill. Just if anyone wants to look it up, it's technically that's the full name, but it's just called Sugar Hill. So
yeah, I love zombie movies that talk about the Haitian side of zombie movies, where it actually all came from, the Caribbean, as opposed to just actually legit zombies.
What was that movie called? Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh,
great movie.
To this day, one of the few movies that still terrifies the fuck out of me. That movie is scary as fuck. If you've ever dealt with Haitian people, then that movie will scare the shit out of you. Yeah, because they'll fuck you up. Don't never fuck with a Haitian, man. Don't ever fuck with a Haitian. Because that movie is based on real shit.
And that in Santeria, right
But again, from that era, I also wanted to bring up kind of a lesser known movie called Abby. And Abby was basically a black version of The Exorcist.
And I would like to thank Babette Bombshell for turning us on to this movie. Yeah. Because she did a screening of it and it was fucking outstanding.
Oh, the movie had almost been lost. A very few prints survived. I think the distributors of The Exorcist really went out of their way to quash it, to make sure it never came to light. So if you can ever track down Abby, slightly different take on it, but it's very similar plot at the end of the day.
Blaxploitation version, and really doesn't take itself seriously because it's just all out. It's balls out.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
Absolutely. And then my last one that I wanted to bring up, and again, it's cheesy, but if you put it on, I will not leave the room until it's over.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Tales from the Hood.
Love that movie. Love
Tales from the
that
Hood or Leprechaun in the
movie.
Hood?
Oh no, not Leprechaun in the Hood, but Tales from the Hood is what I like.
Snoop.
Yeah. Although I will say the movie that he did, Bones, not nearly as interesting.
No.
Well, Night Watch that he was just in, that was a fun movie with Jamie
Fun,
Foxx and
yes.
Snoop Dogg.
Fun,
That
I
was
will
a
give it
great. I
fun.
had a great time with that one.
It was fun, yes. All right, so I guess we've talked that out.
I think
Okay. All right, but now Integra just said in the chat, "Don't you hate kids in general?" Yes, I do. I absolutely.
Especially when
which
they
is
break
why,
your foot.
Yeah, that's where my foot's gonna go. Just bam. All right. But yeah, so I guess what's left to do is the Rotten Tomatoes game.
Absolutely. So again, for anyone who is not familiar with how the Rotten Tomatoes game works, first of all, you have to understand how Rotten Tomatoes works. You are familiar with the website. It's it's not exactly an aggregator as far as how it ranks scores. It basically looks for the average of just general good or bad, thumbs up, thumbs down, and then gives you the average of that.
So I want to say one thing before you start. Cocaine Bear has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Oh.
What about Pooh? Have we looked that up yet?
No, but all I know
he's looking up right now.
Bear, because
Cocaine
everybody
Bear is
fucking
down to
loves Cocaine
70%
Bear.
right now.
It's down to 70.
Yeah, but that's the fact is 70% with
Literally just came
213
out.
reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out Friday. So did
That's
Pooh.
213 reviews, and it's still at 70%. That's pretty solid where it's going to stay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, with a name like Cocaine Bear, I don't think people's expectations were all that high. So
It's
looks
you know what
great.
I mean. It's the modern day Snakes on a Plane.
okay.
Good night, Davey.
Which was a great fucking movie.
Good night, Davey. Love you.
I love Snakes on the Plane. Sorry.
Well, good.
You would.
Fucking snakes.
Yes.
Plane.
Not a damn thing wrong with that.
All right. So anyway,
Right.
that's the spirit of how the game is, or what you have to keep in mind as we play the game. So a movie that scores 95 is not necessarily a near perfect movie. It's just a movie that most people will enjoy more than they will dislike.
Like
Again,
Jaws, for example.
I always give the example of the Robert Klein movie or the Kevin Klein movie Dave, where he plays the president has a heart attack.
Impersonal. Yeah.
Yeah, he impersonates him. It's not the greatest movie, but if you watch it, everyone's
It's
like,
watchable.
"Oh, yeah, it's a completely watchable movie.
Okay.
All right. So, hey, RJ, welcome. You just in time for the game.
Perfect. Yes. So.
All right. So, folks, first, it's a movie I just referenced. It's I think it's 1995, maybe 94. Tales from the Hood. It gives us the Welcome to Hell.
Yep.
It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Ooh.
Who's going
I'm gonna
first?
I'll go 65.
I'll go 40.
We're still doing Price is Right rules, right?
No, we don't do Prices Right. No.
One.
Nearest to the pin. Closest to the pin we play.
So what did you say, Demi?
65.
I'm gonna go 72.
All right. Let's
Right.
see. We got a few votes here. We got Bones
67,
McCoy.
68, 47.
Bones McCoy and Craig are both playing. That's impressive. Bones said 67. Craig said 47. And Randy chimed in with 68. I think we'll just cut it off here. And Demi, you won this one. Tales from the Hood is fresh, just barely at 58%.
Oh.
That's about right.
Beat me out.
That's about right.
We talked Jordan Peele movies previously. let's talk. What do you
Keanu?
think Us scored his sophomore effort?
I fucking hate that movie, man.
Wait, what movie was it?
Us.
Keanu.
Us?
Us? Oh.
Ugh. Sad thing is,
Ah.
I think it's going to be up there because I think people liked it. I
85.
personally didn't. Yeah, I'm going to say 72.
I'm gonna go 67.
All right.
Randy
let's
said
see.
93.
Yep, Randy
I can see that.
93.
Bones 32.
Come
on, Craig.
But I think Bones is right though, because I'm sorry that
Craig 57. He's
All
playing both sides.
Matt,
yeah,
congratulations.
he plays both sides all right. Yeah, but anyway,
You took this one. Us scored 93%.
see,
Wow.
So
Oh, that's
Randy.
Randy got it on the nose.
yeah, that's because Randy's cheating.
Cheetah. Get off the laptop, son.
It's okay.
Put your phone down.
Uh-huh.
All right.
That's no fun. There's no fun.
Close all your
Come on, there's no
browsers.
fun with that shit.
All
right.
The next one is the original, not the remake, or reboot or revitalization, whatever you want to call it, but the original Candyman from 1992.
Oh.
Tony
That
Todd.
gained a cult following afterwards.
55.
So,
Yeah, Randy, you're right. Jordan Peele's movies, they were all like they were so high on that thing got a. Hey, people seem to like it. Who am I to judge? I didn't.
I thought it was a shitty movie.
Ooh. Original Candyman. Oh, this is.
68.
Love that movie when it came out. I watched it so many times.
Yeah, no, it was great when it came out. Yeah, just it didn't get the love it deserved until later on.
I haven't seen the new one yet.
I haven't.
Arguably a great love story.
Beautiful love story and a great interracial love story as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 72.
Randy chimes in at 77.
Probably cheated again.
Matt, what did you say?
55.
55. And Demi?
Shit, what did I say? 72? No.
No, I said 72. I think you were 68.
Yeah, 68. I said 68. You're right.
All right. Well, on the dais, we have one winner.
Randy's the only one that's given us a number.
Yeah, all right. So I'm not gonna.
Yeah, everybody's figured it out by now.
Mike, you got this one. Candyman scored fresh at 79%.
Really?
Randy was also very close once again. But yeah, no.
That's actually better than I thought it was.
Yeah, okay. That's a fair score.
Good, though. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we're going to go for a classic blaxploitation movie. Blackula.
Oh, Blackula.
William Marshall. I fucking love that movie.
Also likes this movie a lot, and I wish we would have had him on the episode. He was at a convention this weekend and wouldn't have been able to attend. Previous show host Kairos.
Yeah.
He's a big
fan of
Blackula.
Oh yeah.
Love this movie.
I'm a big fan of this movie.
For the record, not the sequel, not Scream, Blackula,
Yeah,
Scream.
with Pam Grier. Yes.
Blackula.
Blackula, the original Blackula.
70.
Starring the king of cartoons from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah. William Marshall. 68.
Gonna go 75.
75.
Rick says 69. Bones. Brandy and Bones both say 69. 82 from Craig.
All right. So, well, the winner here is Demi. What'd you say?
68.
All right, you're the winner. 68. The score: Blackula comes in at a mere 46%. It is certified rotten.
It's unacceptable.
It's such a good movie.
It's fucking just. It's cinema. It's fucking cinema. It's completely unappreciated.
Right.
It's so good.
End scene, man.
It's so good.
The fucking end scene is traumatized me. Fucking fantastic.
We have 2 to go. The next one is the movie that people weren't even aware of back in '99, I think, that the movie that kicked off the comic book movie revolution as we know and have today.
Spawn?
The Wesley Snipes classic Blade.
Blade. Oh,
Oh,
I love
Blade.
that fucking
Oh.
movie.
I just I'm
So
sorry. The
good.
club scene. The club scene. The club scene. That's all I'm gonna say. The club scene. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't he still owe taxes on that shit?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Wesley served his time. He cut the check. He's good.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
fine.
he served that in Ocala, I believe. So
Yep.
Yeah, really. All right.
That's where he's from.
yeah.
He's a local boy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is
Went to
that?
Edgewater High School.
Petey, get him for Spooky. Get him for Spooky.
I think that's legally reasons.
Blade,
You
I'll
know what?
give.
Honestly,
80.
Wesley should go because guess what? A lot of that money is cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have
That's
to.
right.
You don't have to put that on your tax.
Get my
What
two
did I
long
say?
flu signed.
75. 75.
58.
79.
All right, and so Allison chimed in at 88. And I think we're going to give this one to, we got a few. Randy chimed in at 64. Dallas, 65. Mike is still the winner for cheating. Congratulations, Mike. Blake is barely fresh at 57%.
Oh, local boy. Yeah.
And that's also.
They got the new one coming out soon, which is going to be even better.
Hopefully.
With what's his name?
Hopefully.
We'll see.
I can't remember his name.
We'll see.
Because he's an amazing actor anyway, but.
Sure.
He was from True Detective season 3.
Yeah.
All right. And then the last one of the evening. Another blaxploitation movie. Again, Demi's a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. If you haven't seen it, that's your homework. The Zombies of Sugar Hill,
Oh,
a.k.a. Sugar Hill. Really is an excellent movie. I mean, it's...
Everything about it. This atmospheric as fuck, man.
Yeah, but that means...
I haven't seen it, so I'm just going to give it probably 40.
I was going with 48.
Because it's blaxploitation, I'm going to say 41. Although it deserves much higher.
Get me a 1 point.
Watch it be 95. Watch it be 95.
Just your 1 point.
Randy says 47.
No,
Allison says 75.
It deserves a 75.
Well, that would actually... Allison would win it then.
Really?
It's Zombies of Sugar Hill was fresh at 63%. Actually, no, excuse me, Dallas. I may have lost my count. No, that was for Dallas. Said it for the 65 for Blade. So yeah, Allison would have gotten that one.
Fucking awesome.
So
that's
yeah,
good.
and I'm gonna do one more just so I can at least the final one everyone's actually seen.
Okay.
Let's end on Nope.
I know what the Rotten Tomatoes is going to say, like fucking 98.
I know it's going to be like 99.2. You know,
some I'll never watch again.
Nope.
Nope.
And hence,
I see what you did there.
The point.
I see what you did there.
Movie, so when say, hey, you want to watch it again? Nope.
Nope.
Maybe that was his whole thing all along.
Allison put Nope at 89. Right, panel, what do you have?
I'm gonna say 93.
I'm gonna say 86.
Matt, what'd you put?
98.
98. Randy said 94. Dallas said 70. Folks, the winner of this and of the game is Mike.
Oh.
Nope was fresh at only 83%.
Doesn't deserve it.
Still too much.
Still too fucking much.
Yeah, that's what the thing in the clouds. That was the thing in the clouds. You just did it. That's the impersonation.
That's exactly a big ribbon in the sky. Woo! There's the movie. There's the movie. Now you have to spend $10 to go see it.
I wanted to see more about the chimp that ate people's faces before it got shot in the face.
Yeah.
I want that. I was like, yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, but no, big spooky cloud. Ooh.
Hey, also, never seen the movie. Ha!
Don't need
Don't
to
bother.
see it. Trust me.
I know. No,
Right.
after everything you all
Thank you guys
said.
for joining us. Obviously, we're going to be back in a couple of weeks. Make sure you subscribe on our YouTube and Twitch. And just the record, just so you know, you don't have to watch us live. You can always watch us on the replay. We're always the Facebook, YouTube, all our episodes are there. So feel free to check them all out whenever. That being said,
Wait, actually, one last thing. Because you guys are here watching, I just want to give you a quick sneak preview for our next show.
ooh,
Next show will be our daylight savings hangover episode, because the next show is actually going to take place when we have to lose our fucking hour. So we're all going to be miserable, and we're going to celebrate our misery with cocktail recipes.
And I have so many to show
and
you.
I just happen to be a bartender. I think I'll
the
be in.
next bartender here. So yeah,
Next show, come to drink, come to take notes.
come to be grumpy with
there
us.
you go.
Oh, I'm gonna have so many cocktails that are beer.
And yeah, so there's going to be a lot of drunkenness going on.
Yep.
So we thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, blah, 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 whatever. And fuck you.